goal setting. I'm going to give you 8 goals that I'm going to have personally. And the beautiful thing is that I've had them for now the last 5 years. Yeah, this should be the 6th. And every year I review myself and I look at them and I see how much I've grown. But the first year I began this exercise, which was 2018, I began with like 20 goals or 25. But over the years, I have zeroed down on 8 goals that really matter, and they guide me on becoming the better me, the version that my wealth is looking for, the version that everything good and perfect is looking for. And it's what God requires from us, that we write the vision, make it plain, so that even if someone is running or you yourself is running, you won't lose sight of where you're going. So, goal number 1, mental health. Wow. It's number 1. It's usually top on the list on my goals. And why mental health is very important to me is because I realize that when your mind is disturbed, when you're stressed, you really can't do much, including wealth creation. You can't work on your optimum or maximum. And we all know by now that money is a function of work. It's good to have faith. It's good to make them confessions, prophetic declarations. I do that to myself every day. And it's also good to do the positive affirmations. But if you don't have a clear mind and clarity on what you need to do, then those goals might be there for a very long time. So in regards to mental health, below that I had given myself 5 small goals. That is positive thinking, therapy, heal trauma, awareness, and then educate others. Yeah. So by the end of the year, I reviewed myself and I realized I need to go again with the same 5 pointers, the big goal being mental health. I encourage you to start your journey for mental health, thinking positively, exercising your brain to think positively. Even when the negative thoughts come, you try as much as possible not to linger there. So it's inevitable not to have a negative thought coming to your mind, but how you gloss over it, marinate over it, stay with it and keep it. That's when all the toxicity or the negative side of that begins to happen. But if it crosses your mind like this and you realize it and then you replace it with a positive thought. For instance, sometimes I can have a thought like, my body is big, I'll never be small, I'll never fit in those. Or when I see somebody skinnier or leaner doing something or wearing something, I'm like, I'll never be that person. So I quickly replace it with, I'm actually the best size for how God wanted me to be, or this is the size that God wanted me to be with, because my bone structure is very big. I'm a big girl. I'm a 5'8", and my bones alone weigh 58 kgs according to my doctor. So body mass, where I'm supposed to be when I'm healthy, is 75 kgs. So 75 kilograms is overweight for somebody else. So if I start comparing myself with others who have a smaller frame, now my other sisters are 5'4", I think, and 5'3". So their bone structure may not be as big as me. So when they're 75, they're very overweight. But when they're like, lower than that, they're healthy. Me, if I go below 75, now I will be looking too skinny and too tall. Anyway, I'm just giving my example. So positive thinking, I wanted to go for therapy. I will continue with therapy. Positive affirmations every now and then recognize my trauma and whatever trauma I have picked up, not only on childhood. We normally think that trauma just comes from childhood, but there's also trauma you pick as a big person through rejection, mistreatment, loss of a loved one, many ways the trauma comes to you. But the question is, are you negotiating that trauma, and are you finding somebody who can hold your hand so that you can heal? And that will make you now project to others or project to yourself, and then you will live a healthy life. Now, goal number 2, I can stay on mental health until, because when I discovered this, my life really changed. I used to be an emotional roller coaster kind of a person, and I would blow things out of proportion, and I never knew why. But when I realized where all this was coming from, I began my journey of healing. I'm a better person. Not there yet, but at least I'm not where I used to be. Good. So the second goal, physical health. Wow, it's very important for you, even as you plan to conquer everything, that your physical body does not let you down. Many people are dying right now at 50, at 60, not because of anything else, but lifestyle diseases. Lifestyle diseases are diseases that come to us because of how we are eating, not exercising, and additionally not having a mental, a good mental routine. So for me, physical health is very important, and it's the second goal that I'm having this year, and I encourage you to have one. And it doesn't have to be vague. If, for instance, I'm 83 kgs and I know I'm supposed to be 75, I just need to map out a plan to shed the extra and maintain. And how do I do that? By eating healthy. That's number 1. Being at the gym, or at least having an exercise routine. Pick up a hobby like swimming that will help me adrenaline, happy hormones, bring about everything that makes my physical health enhanced. Probably join that with, because physical is also appearance, doing facials, massages, and stuff like that. I'm just giving examples of goals you can have about your physical health, because if you write your goal there, physical health, then you don't have under that, what are you going to do about the physical health? How many kilometers are you going to be running? How much calories are you going to be taking in on a daily basis? What types of food? What are you dropping? Like, for instance, I can give you an example. This year, I have decided to drop starches. Yeah. Last year I stopped sugar successfully. Last year, but one, because you start and then you fail, you start, you fail. But the whole of last year, I can say I was living a sugar-free kind of life, and I've seen a lot of benefits, and I'll continue with that. And I'll pick up now cutting back on carbohydrates, not just wheat, but carbs, because those are the ones that take longer to be broken down in the body, and they end up being stored fat. So under physical health, you give yourself smaller goals that are going to get you there. And at the end of the year, you will evaluate yourself. By the way, let me mention that at the end of the year, I normally take a day 2, 3 retreat, and I go through all these goals, and I award myself marks, and I see how badly I'm doing or how good I'm doing. And this year, I got very shocked when I saw where I did very well and where I did not do very well. Where I did very well is where I was very intentional, and we'll find out together. So the third goal that you could have, that I have, spiritual growth. And I am a believer that if God does not help a man, that man cannot be helped. When I speak about spiritual growth, this I mean my relationship with God. And my goal is to become better and better. So under that goal, how much time do I want to spend in prayer? How much time will I spend in the Word, reading the Word of God? How oftenly do I go for retreats and take fasting? How do I serve in the house of the Lord, and how do I serve others, and how many books and which ones am I gonna read? this year. Right back to you. Do you have a spiritual growth goal? Who do you believe in? Where is your power? Where does your power come from? Who makes you not fall back? For me, it is God. I believe if God had not rescued me, I wouldn't be here today. If God had not forged a path for me to be on this line of financial advisory and wealth creation, I wouldn't be here talking about you. So it's all about God. And for me, spiritual growth is important. And for last couple of years, that's 5, I have grown tremendously. I have had God for myself. Before the word of the year was released, I already knew what kind of an year I was gonna have as an individual. And when I listened to every other spiritual leader, it aligned with what God had already put in my heart. So I encourage you to have a spiritual goal so that you can hear God for yourself, or rather have your power coming from God. Because if you depend on your own power, and by the way, let me stay here for a while, because in my journey of knowing God, I've realized that human beings are very frail. We are very limited. I am very limited. I fail. I fall again. I fall short so many times. But the God who created me, who brought me to this world, keeps lifting me up and lifting me up. Can you imagine that I'm here talking about wealth, something that I thought had taken over my life and I was never gonna conquer? But God in himself, after I prayed according to Psalms 34, I remember 5 years ago, that's 2018, I began to pray with Psalms 34. It says, I sought the Lord and he answered me and he rescued me from every fear. Those who trust in him are radiant. They'll never be ashamed. They'll never be ashamed. And by the way, for all these goals, I have a scripture backing, which I'll put on the description box for those who want to take it deeper, where you have a goal and then you have a verse that helps you when you're praying or when you're looking at your goal to even go deeper and see what God says about it. I'll attach the scriptures. All right, so on spiritual growth, that is very, very important. Actually, the way I've arranged these goals may not be in order of importance. It's just how I was reviewing them and deciding whether it's a goal that I want to go with. There are some goals I had, like I said, 5 years ago that I dropped along the way, and I realized these are things that will happen to me as a result of others. If I spiritually grow, then that means all these benefits are going to be added unto me, so I don't have to list them down. Okay, good. Then goal number 4 that I have and that you can have is career and academics. Wow. And this is a goal that when you reach a certain age, you start feeling like you don't need any more education, you don't need to improve yourself, but it's a lie. Every human being, every person under the sun, you have to keep learning, because the world is evolving. Things are changing. The digital world has come alive. And if you don't align with what is happening, if you don't learn how to, maybe video shoot, edit your videos, put a blog across, or whatever information you have, if you don't learn how to transmit it through the digital platforms, then you're gonna miss out. So this is me saying that career and academics should be a goal. And examples of some mini goals you can have under that is, do you need to get a degree? Do you need to get a master's? Do you need to do that PhD? Or is the doctorate something you can be able to achieve? You need to break your career path into goals. And if you're in business, you also need to break down what you need, the skills you want to acquire. What skill do I need to acquire? I had my spiritual leader the other day in a podcast say that are you self-aware enough as a business person to know the energy you bring to a room? Do you bring like a bad taste to people when you come into a room and you don't even know about it? And actually, it's not even your fault. But if you recognize that you have it, you will be able to deal with it and become better, appear better, show up better. How do you want to show up as a business person into a room when you're negotiating these big deals? This has to do with learning and improving yourself. So you can have that, and then professional courses you need to do. Do you need, like for example, in my field, you need to finish that CPAs? Do you need to do CPS? Do you need to do CFA? What else do you need to do to be able to become better in the finance world? Do you need to watch more videos, train teams so that you can get better? I've learned that the more I train people, I have a gift that God gave me, the gift of teaching and training. And I love to do that. Whenever I discover something, I want to sit someone else down and tell them, by the way, this is what I've learned. And maybe you can apply. It's something maybe you can apply so that even you can change in this way. I hardly keep information for myself because I recognize at an early stage in my career, I think when I was in my 20s, that I have that ability. When I discover something good, I want other people also to be part of this something good. So this is me here exercising my gift, showing you what has worked for me for the last 5 years that you can adapt in this new year 2023. Now the fifth goal, wealth and money. Hey, my favorite. In the area of wealth management and creation, I was more intentional with my spending. I was more intentional with my investments. I sold off what was not making me money. I paid off a big extent of my outstandings, investments I did through loans. And I also give more, which makes me feel very good about myself. So under wealth and money, examples of mini goals or how you can break it down is, what are the investments? What portion of your income do you want to be investing every month? What can you afford right now? Because you need to start right now. What is it? 10%, 20%, 30%? Let's start with that. Then from there throughout the year, you can ask yourself, am I spending too much? Where can I cut back so that I can be able to increase my investment portion per month? Thirdly, do I need a vocation? I definitely need other streams of income. What can I do? What other talents can I put in place so that I can begin to make money? Extra money, passive money, money that doesn't require me to be there actively for it to hit my bank account. Do I need to blog weekly so that I can expand my knowledge and, test the waters of what people are requiring out there? And then budget. How is my budget looking like? This budget, I probably somebody created a budget in 2013. We are now in 2023. Is it time you reevaluate and see, is this working for me? And I will prepare an episode of the types of budgets that we have out there that somebody can take, because not every budget works for everybody. Some people have aspects of life that others don't have, so that budget may not work for them. So watch out for that. So that's wealth and money. And then number 6 goal, brand and outlook. This is going to be very important for me this year because I have already started the journey of building my empire. So how do I ensure that the brand appears the way I see it in my head? How do I ensure that in terms of the content I'm putting there, it's authentic, it's realistic, it's applicable, it's measurable, and it can help somebody? How do I want to be perceived both as an individual and also as a company? So under brand and outlook, you can review your business look. How do you appear? How do you look? Image. How does your wardrobe currently depict you? They say that dress the way you want to be addressed, and I've seen that to be true. It's true even about cars. On the road, you realize that people will treat you according to the kind of automobile that you have. A story for another day. I don't want to sound controversial here. Drive the car you can afford, but I was just giving an example. Coming back to the image or the brand outlook, what size do you want to appear? I have seen people go an extra mile to shed some weight because of the image they're looking for, and it's okay. And if you feel the weight you're in right now is a good weight, and you feel comfortable showing up like that in the outfits that you're wearing, and you feel comfortable, that's okay as well. But it's okay to have a goal. Probably you're size 18 and you are working towards a size 12. Which size do you want to be at the end of this year? And it's achievable through diet, through exercise, through sleep. Oof. I've been doing a research on sleep because I struggle a lot with sleep, but I'm getting better and better and better by the day. I no longer believe in that thing of transnighting. I want to work towards sleeping at least 7 hours per night. 7 to 9. 9 still sounds like, oof, but I'm gonna get there. But I'm coming from sleeping not even 4 hours per night, and it's not the deep sleep, the REM sleep, which is good. But for you to be able to rest your cells, rest your nerves, rest your mind, rejuvenate, rebuild, you have to have ability to sleep. I digressed a bit there because brand and outlook comes with you being able to rest. And then do you need to attend, forums where you sharpen your skills and meet other people? Like, I have a goal this year to just attend an international forum for professionals in my line, and that function is in the month of May this year, so I'm working really hard to ensure that I attend. I have planned to attend for a while now, but this has got to be the year. Do you need to have a social media presence? I know that is something that some people feel it's not their thing. I used to be that person who felt I don't need to have a social media presence, but I've realized that's where everything is right now. That's where everybody is. Rather, a lot of people are looking for the information. So a platform like YouTube or IG or even TikTok is a platform that you need to put your weight there, because people visit those platforms and you can save a soul. Somebody can be wanting to quit, and then you put in a clip there and they come, they listen. And I'll give an example. I'm not really into politics. I do listen and follow maybe like 20% of the time or 30% of the time, because I need to know things in my line of work, but I'm not an actively avid follower of politics. So when I was going through TikTok, I landed on somebody's clip, and he does very good political analysis. Yeah, he's a political analyst, and every day I make sure I listen to him to know what is happening. I'm careful, of course, so that I don't end up having his opinion as the final opinion. But I'm just saying, when it comes to finance, I'm there personally as an analyst, as a financial advisor. You can listen to me on a daily basis to get your nuggets. Another person is talking about health. You can listen to that person to be able to know what is gut health, what is inflammation. I've learned all these things through TikTok, and I've become better, healthier, areas that I struggled in my health. I've gotten that information in these platforms I never thought I would be there. So I'm encouraging somebody in terms of brand and outlook. Do you need to put in your content out there so that we can discover you, become discoverable? All right. Goal number 7. And remember, I said I'll list every goal here and a scripture backing for you to be able to go back and look at how do we ensure that as we set these goals, we are praying about, we're believing, and they will come to pass. And it's a journey. I will repeat it again. I didn't start it yesterday. It's been 5 years. This is the 6th year of this journey of my well-being holistically, and I have made progress. Those who know me, who saw me a few years back and can be able to look at me, can attest that there has been tremendous change and growth, and I want to share all this information with you. So goal number 7, relationships. I know sometimes we think this is automatic. No, it's not. My father used to tell us that I'm trying to say that saying in another language. Let me say it in my native language. Dogonema Kenya. It means if you want friendship, you have to make steps. Yeah? Every relationship that is working right now, not necessarily marriage, somebody is making it work. They are making intentional steps to ensure that the relationship becomes better. So by relationships, I mean there are relationships that you need to leave, and there are others you need to enhance. Maybe you're the one who is making it fail because you're being snobbish. Yeah, that's a deep word, snobbish. Maybe you're not being very available or accessible to your friends and your peers. And show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. If you don't surround yourself with people who are propelling you to go where you want to be, you won't go there. And that's why many companies encourage teamwork. That's why there's a team, not a human, not one person, not an individual. I work in a team, and every now and then I go to my team and I think I'm the one who is going to talk to them that particular day. Then somebody, when it's their turn to say something, they talk to all of us, and I pick something and I'm like, oh wow, if I wasn't in this team, I wouldn't have learned that today. So in terms of relationships, these are the mini goals. Do you need to go out more oftenly? Do you need therapy to heal some of the relationships that probably have broken because of you and also because of others? It takes two to tango. Do you need to travel, increase your knowledge of the country you live in, or even other countries, meet other cultures, meet other natives, go and find out other cultures, travel and see how people, we are all the human race. At the end of the day, we are all human beings, and God is helping me these days to love everybody, no matter where they're coming from or what's their belief system, because it's not their fault that they believe what they believe. But hey, I can affect them, they can affect me. So I want to be an agent of change. What is good, I pick up. What doesn't work for me, I don't. So do you need to, join a church? Yeah. We're living in times where after COVID, a lot changed. After the pandemic, after the working from home and working individually, and we learned how to do things by ourselves. But that didn't change that we're still human and we need each other. Actually, God uses people when he wants to deliver something to you. So you need these people. Do you need to join a church or rejoin the church that you probably left? Do you need an image makeover so that you can be more relational and that people can notice you and see you? And I don't want to project to anybody what is going on in my life, but these are just examples of goals that I'm having that you can pick up or enhance, that they can suit your profile. Do you need a body transformation? And body transformation doesn't always mean losing weight. No. Sometimes body transformation means even adding weight. Maybe you're not eating enough, you're getting bony, and you also have extra skin that is making you look maybe older. Do you need to do facial exercises or exercises that can make you look brighter, more radiant, better? I'm just giving examples. So that is relationship goals. And I have had this goal not for 5 years, maybe for 2. I don't struggle to make new friends. Actually, that's my area. Connecting with people is my area. I make friends very quickly. If I attend a forum, I'll probably come out with 5 friends. In fact, I work really hard to reduce my circle. Every now and then I find myself, I have so many people. I'm that kind of a girl who used to go home with a friend over the holidays when I was in school, both in college and even in high school. I would notice people who don't have anywhere to go and I go with them. Even recently, I have gone for Christmas with friends who lost their parents, so they normally sit at home. So when I hear somebody saying they're going nowhere, I tell them, hey, having a mbuzi, could you join us? I am relational, but I still have relationship goals because there are relationships that I have lost because of me not being very accommodative or not doing my part or allowing what I'm going through on the other side affect a good relationship. And in that regard, it didn't work out. So relationship goals are very important. Let me know what you think about relationship goals, and all the goals I'm talking about at the description box. Join the conversation because I think this goal setting is very important for all of us, not this year, but even in the years to come. And my last goal, which is goal number 8, social, family, and fun. Oh my goodness. Hey, here I normally need a lot of effort because the field I'm in at work can be very aggressive, especially towards the time people go for holidays. That's when everybody wants to review their portfolio, check the numbers with me, sit down, set goals and all that. So I'm always sometimes working. But this year, the year that is 2022, I made an intentional goal to go on leave. I did a leave of 2 consecutive weeks. Those leaves of no laptops, no emails, those ones, that's what I did. And I fell off the face of the earth, and it was good and beneficial, and I feel very rejuvenated, and it's something I want to do every so often. I know we want to make all the money in the world, we want to conserve time, we want to do everything, but guess what? This body can only do so much. It needs to rest. So social, family, and fun, under those you can have annual family holiday, join a travel group, maybe hike. I had a goal of hiking last year, I did 0. So this year is the year. Host barbecues, I had planned to host a few. Visit extended family. Oh my goodness, this is where it's really tricky, because as we grow older, it becomes very hard to reach out. So when people don't reach out, you don't reach out. Give yourself a goal to reach out to one extended family member periodically, maybe quarterly, half yearly. Or the friends that are up country. Us who are living in the big city, in whatever state you're in, you live very far away from your family. Make the effort. Have a goal this year to make the effort to visit somebody who is not necessarily your mom, your dad, or your brother or your sister. Just somebody who is your relative, and they probably did something remarkable in your life. If you don't put it as a goal, it won't happen, right? So those are the 8 goals that I'm gonna have, that I'm encouraging you, I'm welcoming you to have them with me. Number 1, mental health. Number 2, physical health. Spiritual growth. Number 3. Number 4, career and academics. Number 5, wealth and money. Number 6, brand and outlook. Number 7, relationships. Number 8, social, family, and fun. All right. Thank you for watching throughout this episode. I know you have picked a goal, probably you have, and you're like, yay, let's do this, and you picked another one that you didn't have. Let me know the goals that you're having for this year. Maybe I can pick up one, or change the wording so that it can be more appealing. I encourage you to put these goals in a tablet, in a vision board. I forgot to tell you that last year I joined a group of female friends who we did the vision board together. It was different, it was big, and I've seen a lot of results. I would like to know which goals you had last year and which ones you did very well. We can have a dialogue and a discussion and do better this year. I'm looking forward to this 2023 being an amazing year for me and for the people who are surrounding me. And I'm committed to continue creating this kind of content that will help us create not only wealth. This year, I'm going to expand myself to wealth, health, life as I know it. And I know God is going to guide me and help me to be the best I can be, to be able to have my growth and your growth, and we shall grow together. So remember to like, comment, and share. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please subscribe. It will help me a lot. And also share to people who you think need this kind of content. I will also add some of the episodes that we have done that are connected probably to goal setting, or at the beginning of the year they can be of help. But I encourage you, go back and watch various episodes that can help you. And if this is your first time, karibu sana, welcome. Stick around and hit that subscribe button and the notification, because every week there's gonna be an episode, a good one that will help your life and elevate you, so that we can show up better. I know we did well in 2022, but this 2023, for me, it's the year of turning up the heat, turning up the volume, just pushing harder and getting ourselves discovered. The Bible says that the world is waiting for the manifestations of the sons of God. We have to manifest with our gifts and our talents, backed up by our God. And I know this is going to turn out to be a very good year. So have yourself a blessed day, night, evening. Share this content and stick around for the next episode. Bye and God bless you. Welcome again to the Wealth Empire Show. If this is your first time, I take this opportunity to welcome you. Thank you for clicking. If you have been around, thank you very much for the continued support. Today, I have an exciting episode, a topic that has been talked about, has been revisited and visited, and I just want to throw in my thoughts, my research, my understanding. And the title of today's episode is Before You Quit Your Job. Yep, I know you've probably left a job, or you're in the verge of leaving one, or you've had somebody who has left a job. And the most interesting part, it can go either way. But how about we prepare ourselves for the eventuality of you moving to the next phase of your life, which is very vital, because our jobs are our incomes. Today I'm speaking to the fraternity that is in the employment world. Yeah, and I'm part of that. Been employed for close to 18 years now, but on the side I do other things. But my main income, my bread and butter, if you wanna, comes from being employed. So let's jump right into it. Why are you quitting your job? I want to give you two questions. No, actually, three questions that you need to answer correctly before you quit your job. And I understand that at some point you have to leave your place of work because of one reason or another. And we shall see in this episode the various reasons that could make you leave, the good and the bad. But before you do that, the first question, in my opinion, that you should ask yourself is, are you running away from something or running to something? Or is it both? So if you're running away from something and you're running to something indefinite, then you need to pause and think deeper, because it's not an emergency. And let me say this, unless you're being undermined, looked down upon to a point of feeling like you're retrogressing in your career, then you can apply some time, some wisdom. Let it sit for a while before you actually make the move. Why? Not having an income is very bad. It sucks, for lack of a better word. I have been there, done that. I have quit a job not having a proper arrangement, and I have also quit a job having a proper arrangement. The latter is better, and that is what I'm here to help us do, even as we navigate this season we are in. Sometimes you might be leaving your job because it was not a choice you had, and sometimes you could be leaving your job because it's a choice that you're making. So the first question is, are you running from something, and are you running to something? And first of all, what are you running away from? And what are you running to? There needs to be some stock take that needs to go on. Number 2. And before I move to number 2, I wrote here in my notes, running to something should be for growth, higher income, and opportunities. That's what you should be running to. Examples of things you should be running to: growth, higher income, and opportunities. Running away from, sometimes it's a boss, fatigue. I mean, are you really tired? I saw something and I wrote it down here. Do you need to change where you work, or do you need a challenge where you work? Because sometimes you might just be needing a break. I'm not saying that is the case, but I just need you to think deeper. Do you need a break, or do you need to move? That's the challenge on the table. Now, number 2 question you need to ask yourself: can you financially afford it? If you're not running to something higher, peradventure you're not running to something higher, can you afford not having that income for an extended period of time? Because we don't know about the future, and do you have a safety cushion, an emergency fund probably, or at least a partner that will support you in that time when you're looking for the new opportunity? Or what's your arrangement? Is there any? Because there should be any. There should be an arrangement. Now, question number 3 that you should ask yourself: do I have the correct mental status to make this decision, or is my mind too clouded? I had a counselor, a psychologist, a great philosopher say this recently, and I would like to share. When it's the right thing to do, you feel peace. But when it's the wrong thing to do, you feel confused. So if there is confusion whether you should leave or stay or what, I suggest that you take some time, think about it, internalize, do some research, probably visit your mentor, see a career coach, do a few things, do your due diligence, in short, before you actually make the leap. And when you do that, what happens is, if it's the right thing to do, then you will start getting some peace of mind, such that even if it gets harder out there, you will know I did everything, I prepared myself, I consulted, I researched, and eventually I jumped, such that we rule out the emotional decision. And this is very serious, by the way. A lot of people are depending on your income, even if you're not having a family yet, not many responsibilities. Still, there are people that will come into your life in the future that will be greatly affected by the decision that you're making right now, for leaving that particular job. I mean, my understanding, because I've been in the job market for a very long time, is it should be a continuous journey of your career, beginning probably at the intern level, to a junior person, to a middle level, to a senior level, and eventually higher there. So no matter which organization you're gonna be in, it should be continuous. And as this episode continues to unravel, you will realize that there's so much you need to do before you actually make that leap of faith. All right. Now, just to throw in something for you to think about. Many times we make a mistake of not knowing our true value in the industry we're working in. And sometimes you might feel yourself with thoughts of overvaluing yourself in your industry or undervaluing yourself. The other thing I need you to ask yourself, not in my point, but I just thought about it: what is my true value in the industry? So that I know when I'm getting the new job, I'm actually getting value for my experience, for my expertise, for my skill set. And as I add value to that company, they are also going to add value to me. Okay? So what you do around there, start sharing what you need with your network or what you're looking for with your networks. Yeah, your network is your net worth. So don't just quietly quit and look for a job quietly and you're not talking to anybody. You are bound to make a mistake. You will be very shocked. What you're about to do, somebody else has done. The mistake you're probably about to make, I have made it. Or the success story you're about to start unraveling, someone has been there. And they will tell you their story and it will prevent you from making a mistake. And make no mistake. 1 year from your career stolen or rather lost is a lot of time, and that translates into a lot of dollars. So you need to make this decision very carefully because it means a lot. Number 2, take time off and refresh. Maybe that's all you need. Yeah, I'm in the industry of finance advisory and investment, and sometimes it can get very heated, especially with the changing markets currently, with the strengthening of the dollar, and exchange rates going up and all that kind of stuff, and clients having queries and people doubting whether their funds are safe. It can get clouded and crazy, and sometimes I might feel like I'm probably in the wrong investment. I need to be in a quieter place where I'm getting quiet money. That money that just trickles in into your account. I think that's a myth. Every job, every sector has its own challenges, has its own merits, has its own highs and lows. And you need to recognize, is it a high season or is it a low season, or am I just not cut out for this? And many times in my career, in various jobs that I've done, I have felt not cut out for the job. But guess what? I'm still in the finance industry because it's probably what I was meant to do. So I've given you 3 points and I want to recap them. Are you running away from something, or are you running to something? And if that is the case, what are you running from and what are you running to? Number 2, can you financially handle not having the current income? I was discussing with one of my sisters and we were agreeing that there is power in having an income coming in every month. Something you can work with, something you can depend on. And I've given a story here before and I'll repeat it again. We used to have a house girl. She used to earn only 10,000 Kenya shillings. That's an equivalent of about, $100 to $120. And once in a while we would get low, or I would get low on cash. And she would hear me talking about it and she'd be like, "Mom, how much do you need?" And she would quote figures that she has, and I would be very shocked. How is she having that kind of money? The reason why that was the case is because she was having an income that was coming every month and she was having low costs. So she was being able to save at least 80%, of her income, 50 to 80% of her income over long periods of time, a year, 2 years. That would be a lot of money. If she had learned how to invest, that would be now a totally new ball game altogether. So I'm challenging you not to let go of this monthly income that you're getting simply because you feel bored or tired, or you need a new challenge. And if you do, that's fine. That's how we grow. But what are the steps that you need to take so that your transition is not a downward curve, but it becomes an upward curve, an upward trajectory, where now you continue growing your career, moving from one place to another, elevating yourself, becoming more valuable in the industry. And those breaks, if you hear nothing else I say in this episode, let me tell you, those breaks in your career, they can translate to a lot of time lost, a lot of money lost, and also your brain can also, it can take a toll on your brain, and then you acquire trauma, people around you acquire trauma, and it becomes a vicious cycle. So pause and do the necessary. Number 3, establish. I'm belaboring because this is very personal to me, so please stay with me until the end. I'm going somewhere, and by the time we're done with this episode, I will have helped a soul or two, and that's my goal. The third point is establish another income. Just establish something. All right, do you have another income that will replace that one? And the research that I had talked about that you need to do before you actually make the leap, start sharing what you're looking for with your network so that you get the exact profile, or rather you get something that fits your profile and your value in the industry at the moment, and then take some time to refresh. Even if you're going to leave the job, don't go to the other job with a bad out, because the same energy you are exuding here in this current company is what you're going to start exuding on the other side, and it will be a continuous vicious cycle. But if you do the necessary, and I want us to get now to, what do you do if it's a go? If you've decided, hey, for me, my time is over here and I gotta go. Congratulations. But do this before you quit your job. All right, do this. Number 1, have at least 9 to 12 months of your monthly income, of your monthly expenses saved up in an emergency fund before you call it quits. So have 9 to 12 months of your monthly expenses saved up, probably in an emergency fund or a fund somewhere that is conservative, that will take care of your expenses. Thank me later. Thank me later. Number 2, before I go to number 2, 0 to no income is crippling and can stagnate. 0 to no income is crippling and can stagnate. So you better prepare and have 9 or even 6, because it takes about 3 to 6 months for you to hop on your next job. If you have been advancing yourself in your career and you're valuable, and you don't have long periods of not, expanding your knowledge, 3 to 6 months, you have gotten something. So if you have 6 to 12 months of your monthly expenses saved somewhere, you're probably gonna be safe. Number 2, have an income replacement plan equivalent to your current income. It could be a business, not a new business. I need to say this. Don't quit your job. Pick up your savings to go and start a company. That's a whole episode altogether. And believe you me, been there, done that. People succeed that way, but a very low percentage of people. Very low. Most businesses, they take 3 to 10 years to become stable, break even, and start giving you something. So be advised. Number 3, have a part-time establishment, a buffer, just in case your new venture fails. Establish at least 2 streams of income. If you don't have that stable business that will replace fully the income that you had before, at least have some side ventures, some part-time business, some 2 to 3 streams of income. Maybe not equivalent, they could be lower, but at least there will be something coming. And then also, you don't want to be idle. After coming from such a busy environment, depending on where you work right now, then you go to now rest mode. Even your brain will shut down or even stop operating at the optimum. Someone recently said that the brain is the brain is very versatile, volatile, and it expands depending on how much you're stretching it. I don't want to say it's a muscle because I don't think it is, but I know it expands depending on how much input and output you're requiring from it. You're putting in and what you're requiring from it. And that is why when people are younger, because they're doing so many things, their brains are very active. And then when you grow older, if you're not very careful, you will start having your brain forgetting things, not working very quickly. Things you could do very fast, you're not being able to do. Multitasking, you could multitask before, now you're not multitasking. That's why we are advised, even as you grow older, continue learning. Take a course, take a new skill. Just keep learning, keep learning, keep learning. Don't break the cycle until maybe your body cannot allow. Get what I'm saying? Number 4, is it? Yeah, number 4. Pay off your debt fast. That's a no-brainer. Because if you leave your job and you don't have an income, your expenses have no definite way of being paid for, and then on top of that, you have people coming after you because you owe them money. That can be a precarious situation, and it can put not only you but so many other people in a very, very uncomfortable place. So what you do, have a plan of how your debt is going to be paid. By go to my earlier points of having at least a portfolio that will replace your income, or a business that will give you equivalent. But don't just jet out because you're very annoyed and then you have debts that you haven't cleared, and then you don't have a good plan. Now, I want to give you don'ts of not quitting your job. What am I saying? So there are do's and don'ts. So those are do's before you quit your job. Now these are don'ts, indicators that you probably shouldn't quit your job right now. And if you should, you need to take time and have an expert guide you. Number 1 indicator that you should not. Don't leave your job from a big brand paying you X amount to go to a smaller brand probably paying you the same or more. Brands are everything. Remember, your resume is your profile. It is your brand. So the brands you're associating with on that resume are gonna make way and open doors for your next move. If right now you're working for a certain brand, which is big, and then you get another smaller brand or a startup, let's call it what it is, a startup, compared to where you are, don't move there, even if they're giving you more money. Don't cash in a big name connection just yet. That big name on your CV is worth a lot. So before you actually move to the next place, ensure that the brand is bigger, or at least this form of stability that will not dissolve or lessen or reduce the profile that you're trying to build on your resume. All right. Number 2, don't leave your job out of anger. I said it before. I said it. It's official. That makes it true. Don't leave in anger. Don't make an emotional decision. And guess what? When we're making these emotional decisions, we normally know that we are actually making an emotional decision because there's fear, there's confusion, there's anxiety. That's how you know you're angry. If you know, you know. Yeah? Fight until the end. Stand up for yourself. Build your spine. If someone angers you, and I agree, there's a scripture in the Bible that was words from Apostle Paul, and he said, when I was young, I behaved like a young person, and when I was old, I behaved like, I'm paraphrasing, when I was young, I did things that young people do, and now that I'm old, I'm doing things that old people do. That is to mean you just can't keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. It's allowed at the beginning for you to probably miss a step, make a mistake, and these mistakes continue to grow us and make us who we are today. But then you can't make the same mistake you made in your 20s, in your late 30s. You need to do better. And I'm here to challenge you to do better. So don't leave your job in anger. Number 3, don't leave your job with no alternative. Where are you going? What are the things that the staff in that place? Do your own due diligence. Do a background research. Are they leaving very fast? Are you moving to a place with, same symptoms that you are seeing on this other side? You need to find out what affected you here so that you don't continue having it affect you on the other side. Especially if you're in debt, you don't want to do that. If you have liabilities, think carefully. Don't leave your job with no alternative. You need an alternative. Either a grant, maybe some maturity somewhere, or inheritance, or another income, just that like the one you have or better. Something that will just replace what you have. I've said it so many times and I mean it. You need to establish an alternative before you leave your current job. Number 4, don't leave your job to start a business. Hey, where? Billboard message. Don't leave your job to start a business. And I know you can get lucky, you can get blessed, and your job just picks up. But we know it takes a long time for a business to be started, to eat from your pocket. Speak to people. Just do your research. Don't leave your job. Bundle your savings together to go and start a business. All right? Start it when you're still working, and don't leave until it's profitable. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. Start it when you're still working, during your free time, part-time, and then when it peaks and is giving you profit, probably equivalent or somewhere near what you're having, then you can go. All right? Excuse me. Now, number 5, don't leave because you feel you're not learning something new. It's not the company's fault. Reach out for more right where you are. And I know this is a very blanket statement, because I think out of research, statistics show many people leave with this reason, and they feel very smart about it, that I'm leaving because I feel there's no challenge. I need to learn more. I need to know more. Who told you that in the next destination you're going to be learning more? Probably you're the one who is going to be teaching people what you have already learned, and you won't learn in a long time. And what glitters sometimes is not even gold. Grass is usually not even greener. On the other side, you might arrive there and find it was plastic. And I know I sound like, maybe because of where I am at in terms of age, I may sound like I'm supporting you staying in your current job, but actually that's not what I'm doing. I'm just preparing you for the eventualities that could happen if you leave carelessly or without having done your due diligence. And make no mistake, I'm surrounded. My network is full of people who have left and are doing way better. But also there are others that left, and I think they could have made a better decision. So what I'm advocating for, don't let go of probably bronze to go for wood thinking that it is gold. Enough said. I'm not adding anything there. All right? Don't leave because you feel you're not learning something. Actually, what you need to do if you feel like you're not learning something, instead of just moving away to find that new thing or to go to the unknown, start learning from where you are. I keep telling the people that I work with that you become that star, that refined professional. You keep becoming. Eventually, you will outgrow your position, and the right position will come looking for you. And when it does, there will be no doubt about it, because everything I'm talking about here will check out. Or even not this, because this is not exhaustive. There are many other podcasts, there are many other videos, there are many other books, there are many other sources of information that you can visit to be able to prepare yourself adequately for your next move. All right? And number 6, don't live because you're burnt out. Learn how to say no, take a break, take a hiatus, refresh. Yeah, I know it's possible, especially as entry level, going to middle management or the lower levels of your career, to take on so much because you're trying to, build yourself. Sometimes it's good to measure yourself and see what can I handle, what cannot handle. And when you're very tired, you just have to take a break. This body doesn't use fuel. It uses, it can eat you up if you're not resting. Rest is very, very important. Even God, he rested when he created the universe. On the 7th day, he rested. Learn how to take breaks. Learn how to take rest. I'm writing a note to myself. I've just learned how to take breaks a year, 2 years ago, and it's doing me a lot of good. It doesn't have to be long break. It could be a day on a Saturday or even on a Sunday, or just when you're about to move into a new quarter. You take a day, 2 days, 3 days, maybe a week, and just refresh, rehash, and do the things that you love to do so that your cells, your brain cells, can regenerate. Number 7, don't live because you're being unappreciated. This is a sign of emotional burdens. Nobody owes you no affirmation. This one took me a long time to learn, because I love being affirmed and I thrive on affirmation, but I came to realize not everybody will notice how good you are, or people may not see your value. The most important person to see your value is you and God, because we work as unto God at the end of the day. And then if I feel this day was a high frequency day, I nailed it. I checked gym, check. Morning devotion, check. Client meetings, check. Funds, trickling in, check. In the evening, I'm like, I nailed that day. That day was good. I'm looking forward to another good day tomorrow. I learned to give myself appreciation. I've made very good decisions. Bad ones sometimes, but very many other good decisions. So I applaud myself for that. So learn how to affirm yourself. Don't live because you're being unappreciated. Even on the other side, you will still find people who will not appreciate you. And maybe the most important person won't. The person you really need to appreciate you may not. Yeah, I don't want to get into love matters because I'm not a love doctor. But I'm surrounded by psychologists and counselors, and every now and then they will say something that resonates even in this other world of finance where I am. Number 8, and the last one, don't leave if you have instability. By instability, I mean probably your health is not at the optimum, or you have liabilities, like I said, debts that need to be rebalanced. If you're still seeking stability, financially, emotionally, mentally, health-wise, you probably need to slow it down. But then again, you might still leave if 90% of the other points check out. Like I said, this episode, I know I've talked many things, I was all over, but I think I can recap. Don'ts of quitting your job. Don't quit your job if you're working for a big brand and the new job is a smaller brand. They may not survive, especially if it's a new company, and I'm not a prophet of doom, but most of the time, bigger brands give you more stability. And what we are all looking for is financial stability. Number 2, don't leave your job in anger. If you're angry, disappointed, emotionally unstable, and you know, don't. Don't leave your job with no alternative. Don't leave your job to start a business. That's a risk. That's a huge risk. Don't leave because you feel you're not learning. It's your responsibility to have continuous learning. We have so many tools out there, and you can use part of your income to continue learning. Don't leave because you're burned out. Take some rest. Yeah, go somewhere far and quiet with the people you love and rest. Number 7, don't leave because you're being unappreciated. You cannot force anybody to appreciate you. You only have control of how you appreciate yourself, of how you feel yourself. How people feel about you, you can do nothing about it. You can do nothing about it, by the way, unfortunately. Number 8, don't leave if you're unstable in any way, health-wise, mentally, financially. Take your time. Thank you for watching till the end. I believe that you have acquired something, and if you're hearing this for the second time, or rather you know more points than what I have already included here, please share at the comment section and help somebody. But in the end, I want to give you this parting shot that we are building an empire. Don't take your career lightly. In fact, I was making fun the other day with a group of people I work with, and we were saying when we were growing up and as young kids, our parents used to tell us, you finish school so that you can rest. Oh, that was like the most inaccurate statement to make, because we were finishing school so that we can start now on another higher dimension, and then after that, retirement is another higher. Life is a progression. That's what I've come to realize. So whatever you do today is the stone you're laying, the foundation for tomorrow. So your career is very important. Your career is the spine. A lot of people are in the academic world. We didn't know about it, but we are learning. Hey, yeah, my money was going to be tied into this, career ladder. I thought I would work for kidogo time and then a little time, and then I go start my own business. Shock on you. We're still here pushing the career, and we love it. We have to learn to love it. I'm learning to love the life that I have, as opposed to the life I thought I would have. If you had asked me earlier, I wouldn't have thought I'd be employed at this particular moment in my life, but I'm here and I'm making the most out of it. So this is me saying, take your career very seriously. Don't just make moves that are uncertain, unsure. I know we have to take risks, but please let them be calculated risks. All right? God bless you. See you on the next episode. Remember to share, like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, and God bless you.